Hi, this is Melanie with Pardesi Reviews, and I'm here to do a review of the Hindi film Sir. If you're new to Pardesi Reviews, I do trailer reactions and film reviews of Indian cinema. I was able to see Sir in September of 2019 at the Chicago South Asian Film Festival. It absolutely blew me away. What you need to know is that the poster for the film then was this one where you just see the two characters on either side of a wall, and it's showing kind of the divide between the man of the house and his servant. The poster that they're using for Netflix completely gives away that this is a love story, so I'm not spoiling anything. But let me just tell you, when that moment came, when I saw this film for the first time, I audibly gasped because I honestly didn't know that's where this film was going. So I laugh at myself now, but I really, and it's interesting because in any other, how many romantic films are there in Indian cinema where, the poor girl and the rich guy get together, or what, or the opposite way, right? And normally I'm all about that and I love that trope, but here you're so invested in Ratna's story and her wanting to better herself and become a fashion designer and all of that, that I was really afraid for her. Like, oh my gosh, this is going to ruin everything. That was my initial reaction. But I ended the film in tears with how beautiful it was. And I've been wanting to watch this film again for a very long time. The film premiered finally after making many rounds of the film festival circuit. It premiered in Cannes in, I think, 2018. Again, I saw it in 2019. It was making the rounds of film festivals. And I was desperate to see it again. And finally, it came to Netflix. And it was definitely a featured film this weekend. Everybody and, all of my Indian friends here in my town were buzzing about it, who've seen it. It just, I mean, I can't even tell you, I'm like, I don't have anything to do with the film, and yet I just felt this pride, like a proud auntie, like, oh, finally, everyone's getting to appreciate this film that I loved so much. And it was a delight to watch the film again, knowing where we were going to end up. And just marveling at both actors, but especially Tillotama Shome, who just, oh my gosh, she is amazing in this role. She's amazing in this role. There's so many quiet moments. The intimacy between the two characters builds and builds and builds. And the craft of it is amazing. Before I saw this film, I had never seen the man who plays Ashwin. The actor is Vivek Gomber, who I guess has been known as a producer and maybe had some roles in some things that I have never seen. Now, because of this film, he's in A Suitable Boy, which I still haven't seen yet. It's playing on kind of an offbeat streaming service called Acorn here in the United States. I'm just thrilled for him that he is, because I thought he was so good. He was so good. I can't completely relate. In the United States, it's extremely unusual to have live-in help. You have to be quite wealthy to be able to afford that. Now, I'm not going to say I didn't grow up with any kind of domestic help at all, but I have had a housekeeper who comes in like either once a week just to clean or once every other week. And having not grown up with that, it was kind of tricky for me to know how to navigate that. And what I immediately noticed about the way that Ashwin treated Ratna was he always treated her with respect. He always said thank you. I don't know. He just showed that he was a good person. And that's the kind of way I am. Like, I'm always the kind of person that I don't just take it as a matter of course that a waiter brings me something. I say thank you. You know, I mean, it just, I don't know, it's just ingrained in me. And that was something I noticed about his character, and I absolutely loved him. So even before things moved beyond. So there's just something unique about this relationship of someone that lives in your home that's not your family, but yet is sort of your family, right? Because Ratna, I mean, at the beginning, I sort of felt like she was motherly to him. Like, she knew him better than anyone. She knew when he was in a bad mood. Like, there's that scene when he's come home after the wedding that didn't happen, and he kind of just throws something, and she's about to walk in the door with sandwiches, and she's like, now's not the time. And she just backs away. And she can see that he's depressed. And she opens up and tells him the story of how she became a widow at a very young age and what that meant in her village. And knowing that, watching it the second time, one of the first scenes we see is when she gets the call, like she's expected to have 2 weeks back with her family in the village, and suddenly she has to come back because she doesn't know why. She doesn't know that the wedding's been called off. And I noticed particularly the scene of her putting the bangles on in the bus. She couldn't wear them in the village because she's a widow, but that was part of her freedom. When she came to Mumbai and she worked for him, she had certain freedoms that she didn't have where she had grown up. There's so much to unpack in this film, and I know there's subtleties and shades of meaning that me as an outsider from America, I'm not getting all of that, but I just think it's an amazing film on so many levels, and everyone should see it. So it's on Netflix. Kudos to Rohena Gera. The writing in this, the way you have directed it, and just, I memean, the silences, the small moments that build and build and build and make this story, kudos to you. It's one of the most exquisite films, and I'm so pleased that now everyone is able to watch it, because when it came out in November, I was like, it was COVID. Even if theaters had been open, I don't think it would have come here. I was just like, when is this coming to streaming already? Anyway, so pleased to be able to watch this again. Highly recommend. You have to see it. So let me know in the comments below what you thought about this story, what you thought about Sir. Follow me on Twitter at PardesiYT. Please do follow me. I'm just launching Instagram at Pardesi Reviews on Instagram. Please do follow me there. If you hit the bell when you subscribe here, you'll never miss another trailer reaction or film review.